Now, if you're just thumbing through the videos here, you're moving through and viewing some of the videos that we have here, I would like to call special attention to you for this video. I have a very important question to ask you that may be the most important question I would ever ask you as we interact in these videos. And if you join our association or you're already part of the association, this is a very important question that I want to ask you, and I'm focused on you. And that is, the question is when is it okay for you working in the office or the front desk, when is it okay for you to walk away? You have a difficult customer, somebody's screaming at you, yelling at you, maybe they're pounding their fist on the counter or pointing their finger at you, yelling at you, maybe they're big like I am. You know, when is it okay to just say, I'm gonna walk away from this and I'm gonna go out the back door and go call somebody, go call 911, go call my supervisor, call somebody down the hall? What does that look like for you? Maybe it's not okay in your perspective. My concern is, though, as with all of this material that we put together, I'm always concerned about you and your safety. And this is one question we don't explore. We just assume. You know, it's not a supervisor's fault. If you're a manager right now watching this, it's not your fault. It's not a supervisor's fault. It's just tradition. Tradition says we're open every day of the week, that we've been open since 1872. Our office is never closed, with the exception of holidays and the weekends, since 1872. And we just assume that. And we assume that we're supposed to provide customer service and that customer service will never fail, or good communication will never fail us. And so we assume that we are supposed to stay with this person. And you know what my concern is? Most of us do not think about this or talk about this question. And the first time that many of us will react, I've seen the videos and I know the statistics, many of you will not react until that person is trying to climb over the counter and come and get you, or come around the counter, whatever that looks like. And that's a huge concern of mine, because I think you should be talking about this and exploring this. It's a new day today. You know, 1872, 1900s, whatever that looks like, 1990. People weren't doing what they're doing today when it comes to violence and those kind of things. And so I want to make sure we're talking about this, and we're talking about this very important question of when is it okay for you to walk away? And what does that look like? I mean, can it be going out the back door? Can it just be leaving your position at the front desk and running out the back door, or running down the hall to get somebody, or walking? Could it just be you say to me, excuse me, sir, I know the perfect person to help you and I'll be right back. And you leave and you don't come back. A very important question for us to talk about, and supervisors, we should be talking about that with our office people and our front desk personnel. And front desk folks, you should be talking about this with your supervisor, so that we don't have a misinformation or the idea that we have to stay there till the bitter end. And so, you know, but okay, maybe some of you have that one thing that I'm thinking about that's more important than you. You have to stay there. What is that? What is that one thing? Do any of you have that? No, none of you have that, because I don't know of anything that's more important than you. Computers, those are not more important. Files, personnel, stuff, paperwork, is that more important? We've assumed for a long time we can't vacate our post, but the reality is at what level? I want to show you a video here. This gentleman comes in, he's not a happy camper. And this is a lot of what I want to talk to you about. He's pointing fingers, pounding his fist into his other hand. See his feet, stepping back, which he has to do when he's in disagreement. We'll talk about that further within the association. He readjusts his feet, he points his finger a little bit more and pounds his fist a little bit more. Anti-gravity arms up there. The reality is where in here would it be okay for you to say, I'll be right back? And I think, you know, fairly soon, and as I instructed my live courses, When we see 4, 5, or 6 clues, and later I hope to have the opportunity to interact with you within the association if you're not already in here, and I want you to know in further training some clues to look for, some body language clues, those kind of things. When somebody's pointing their finger at you, pounding their fist, and when they're doing that moving around kind of thing and their feet are changing positions and getting into a platform for action, I think that's enough clues for you to say, I'll be right back. And you leave. And maybe you don't come back. The reality is, though, that I want you to be thinking about that. What does that look for you? And this becomes the biggest question that I think I should be asking you. Just to do my job. And I want to challenge your mind to be thinking about that. What does that look like, and at what point are you going to leave? The last thing I want to say on that really is, I don't think it has to look bad. If you've got a mediocre situation, you've got me, I'm a large person, I'm pointing fingers at you, maybe I pound my fist into my hand or on the counter. I don't think it has to look bad that you say, I'll be right back, I know the perfect person to help you, and you leave and you're gone for 10 minutes. And you come back with somebody. I don't think that has to look bad. It could just look like good customer service to me as you return with somebody, and now the two of you can interact with me. But the reality is you and I have to be asking ourselves, when is it okay? You've got to make that plan for your mind. If you don't make that plan, you'll stay too late. You'll stay until things are getting really bad. That person's coming over the counter, around the counter. They're starting to attack you. You will stay way too late. And so I want to work on that plan with you. I want you to ask your supervisor, or if you're a supervisor, I want you to go and have a discussion with your front desk folks and make it okay to pick a point. So many clues that you see, somebody's getting upset, and when is it okay for you to walk away, leave, go out back, call the police, call a supervisor, get somebody down the hall to be there with you, whatever that looks like. And that's obviously going to depend on whether you work completely by yourself, you're in your own little building, or whether you have lots of other folks around. Those kind of things are very important. But I want to begin to have that discussion with you, and I want to help you answer that question through further training and lots of discussions, or get you, and maybe a little bit of both, get you to go and have that conversation with your supervisor, or supervisors have that conversation with your people, because it's important for your brain to have that knowledge and decide when is the best time for me to leave. If you don't have that plan, then it's not going to happen. Your brain is going to have to make it up, and we tend to stick with customer service because we think we're failing if we're not able to provide good customer service. And there is a time where customer service doesn't always work. Good communication doesn't always work. So when is that time that it's okay for you to leave? What does that look like? Let's work on it together, or let's work on it with your team. Very important.